Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'll be going over a teaching game that I played with my student. This time we played online. So this is the first time, if my student is watching this, that he's going to hear any comments about this game. Usually when we play online, we don't have like any communication about the game. So this will be his first time hearing anything about the game. It also gives me, as opposed to giving him, like if we're doing the lessons in person, instead of giving him my like first impressions on like my takes on the moves and stuff, this is fully like thought out, thorough review. So yeah, let's get into it. As you'll see again that we're gonna have a opening that you haven't seen us play before, because we're trying to keep our repertoire of openings rapidly growing. So yeah, like this, we have no 4-4 spots, which means no 3-3 invasions. So, and then this kick, which is a normal move nowadays. While it makes black stronger, white's goal is to scoop out points in the corner and get sente. So I get sente, so where do I go? I play this low Shamari, which, again, with the AIs, they think this is subpar, which is why you will regularly see this in AI games. In this case, though, because black has the stone here, when black approaches, it's a very good follow-up, right? And it's looking at this weakness right here. So that's why I played the Knight Shamari. Plus, as we have talked about in person, you don't see this much anymore. So gotta keep it fresh in our minds. The reason you don't see it much anymore is because of this shoulder hit and this attachment. And you'll see one of those in the game. And before I get any further, I think the lesson for this game is missed opportunities, and you'll see why. So of course there's one corner left to play in, so white takes it, and then partially because I played it on the bottom left, my student goes here. And to again avoid playing just the same thing, I play this knight's shoulder hit. Crazy looking move, right? So the point of this move is to try to avoid getting heavy, as opposed to just standing up like this. So if black tries to cut this off, black needs to protect in the corner, and in this game white has the ladder, so that won't work. If black has a ladder, then this is playable for black. It's not very easy for white, so white wouldn't be able to do this. But because white has a ladder, white can play this. So make sure you have the ladder when you play this move. Now black can also play this, but as you'll see, black just takes the corner and gives the outside. So this probably isn't too great for black either, depending on your style. I think if you're a territorial style, this is possible. White could, though, ignore and play maybe this move, or potentially even this double hane. So this move leads to a lot of complications. It's not a straightforward path. Now the strongest move black can play is actually this empty triangle, which looks, you know, like terrible shape, right? But it's actually the strongest answer. If white extends to try to connect and black cuts, white will try to descend, but as long as you, in this case it's relatively the same, but as long as you descend one way, this fight will be very hard for white because this stone is very flexible, while white stones are very heavy. Right, like if white jumps this direction, black can play something like this. And if white tries to Atari, you can see by Atarying, white is setting up a cut here later. Right, so black can crawl and to get more liberties before cutting. So it's very painful for white. So this, and similarly, if white protects on this side, black can just extend, threatening this cut again. And then again, playing a move like this, white's going to get severely attacked, and black's comfortable in the corner. So you might be asking, well, if that's good for black, why would you play that to begin with, right? So the point of this move is, again, to treat the stones lightly as opposed to just standing up. So when black goes here, the correct response for white is to go elsewhere. This is probably a good Kakashi here, right? You forced your opponent into bad shape. So white could maybe then turn his attention to the upper right or the right side somewhere, and just leave this for later. If black wants to add another stone, black's going to be very over-concentrated. So that was the plan. Now in the game, my student played possibly the weakest variation. Not weak, but it just, you'll see it's very uninteresting for black by just crawling. White Hanes, and again, in the game my student goes here, so I Atari and then extend, and then he jumps. And this seems very flat for black, right? So I think after this Hane, black should Hane here. If white comes back this way, then black can turn. And in this case, white could capture, but black can get a ladder breaker anywhere along this spot. So maybe black can do this one. Right? White would fix somehow. Maybe black would, add one more stone, and white would fix again. And then black can turn the attention to the upper side. Somehow, right? This would probably be good for black. Right? White's wall has a defect in it, and black gets to harass this upper left a little bit. So this is probably pretty good for black. So white probably cut. White can extend, and then this would turn into a fight, which, since black can either live on this side or live by taking the stone, black only has to worry about this stone here. So this is also possible. Or black can just not care about the corner either, right? Yeah. So by just letting white get this Atari and then jump and then extend, it's okay for black, but it's, I don't know, it just doesn't feel great for black. Now on the reverse is that white's wall has a ton of defects in it, right? So we're gonna see if black can get the opportunity to exploit the weaknesses in white's wall. So white extends. If white fixes, black will just extend. And even if white, we know side extensions aren't too important nowadays. If white just does whatever, the point of this move is that it has a very nice follow-up, and again attacks white's shape. So that's why in the game white plays a little faster, but it leaves a ton of bad Aji. Now, I know a lot of Q players that think this is the Aji I'm talking about with this cut. But you can see, if black were to do this, white would get, this stone would be in a perfect spot, black only gets 2 points there, and then maybe a couple points here. So maybe 4 points, but white's outside is worth much more. So then what is the oji I'm talking about? The oji is the clamp. So always look for this clamp. The point of this clamp is, it might sound counterintuitive, but you're going to let white connect to make white shape heavy, right? In this case, when white just connects, white shape is pretty perfect, or white's solid. There's no defects in white's wall or in white's thickness. But by going here, white's going to have a ton of weaknesses. So for example, so white needs to protect directly, right? If white goes elsewhere, now when black cuts, you can see, oh, this is not looking so good for white, right? Now this group is completely baseless. So white needs to answer. If white protects this way, a black can then either jump or extend up, both which are threatening this cut. If black extends up and then maybe extends somewhere here, you can see this group is now heavy and this stone is isolated. So this would have been good. If white connects down, again, if we just take this stone, white would just be happy to capture this stone. So we go down. If white wants to, white can give up this stone, but you can see this is a bigger gain. So white would like to connect, but again, it's very similar to the last situation where white is heavy here and isolated here. So the clamp is very good. It's very good. If white tries to do something like this, you can Atari and then connect. And again, white, these stones here are going to get pretty heavily attacked. Same thing with this, right? And well, in this case, black's just happy and probably wins the game. So what I was planning on doing was, when black attached, I was just going to ignore and just give up these stones, which probably sounds crazy, but I'm crazy, so it fits my style perfectly, I guess. Yeah, maybe do something like this next. Maybe something like that. But I was going to treat these stones lightly with the, but it's still big enough for black to play. But black plays here, which it's a good move, right? All that sequence I just showed doesn't work anymore. The stone is a counter extension. Now, everybody knows, let's say I had gone here, right? And then we play a very normal Joseki and white extends. This is a very natural move, right? But the question is, what is the point of this move, right? Not only is it getting points here, but black is also looking at an invasion. So this move is preparing an invasion, right? Now when white comes on top, black can descend, and you can see black can connect over here or over here. So if we go back to the game, black plays this checking extension. So not only does it solidify the corner, but black should be looking to invade here. So again, earlier I said this is the game of missed opportunities. So missed opportunity 1, you'll see what happens here. But black should look to invade as quickly as possible, or as soon as possible. White attaches to see how black wants to play. Black plays a good move, and then white counter extends. Black answers, which black should just ignore now. Just ignore this move. Sure, maybe white can do this, but who cares? It was like, since black had 4 stones in this area, black's like, oh, it's my points, gimme, gimme, gimme. But black needs to attack. So then white stands up. And again, black, just please take the invasion, right? But black plays this move, which I don't know what this move is doing, honestly. If it's trying to build this area, black, like, it's still, right, there's still moves white can still break in. So this was basically a pass. I don't know what this move is doing. It's not doing a lot. Why doesn't black just invade? Or why doesn't black just clamp? These are two much better moves. Much, much better than this move. This kind of move is not good. Because it's like he's trying to protect the corner that was already safe, but it leaves. But by playing this move, now this move black has to be cautious about. You know, maybe white can do something like this. So this move, very bad move. Because then white plays here, protecting this shape a little better. Now, if black tries to clamp, while black can still clamp, white will probably choose this one. And it would be a fight, right? Or black, since black knows there's a clamp here, maybe black can play something like this. Or do something. But where does black go? Black goes here. And says, white, please protect your side. Please protect your side. So of course white just fixes. You only play this like extending up move if the side that it's facing is valuable. But because this stone is here, the bottom side has no value. So I'd rather black not even play there and go somewhere else. But of course black should just do this now. So exchanging this move for this move is a very bad exchange, because now white's side is completely safe. So white's side is completely safe. So let's see what moves black got. Right? Black got this move, and black got this move. So are both those moves worth the value of maybe going here or maybe going here? No. So when your opponent, like, right, how wide is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a 5-line extension with black solid in the corner and in this corner. So black needs to jump in. So this is a huge missed opportunity. So black extends all the way. And then I just, this is the kind of move as white I didn't even read anything here. You can just throw it in and just see what happens. One, maybe I was trying to test my opponent or my student because I know fighting is one of his weaknesses. But also, this move has just so much aji. I can connect under, I can jump out, or I can invade again. So I really just threw these down on the board, I'll be honest. But it's very hard to do anything about these stones. I understand black didn't want to do something like this, because it's just kind of slack. So that's why I think black could consider just attaching or even shoulder hitting. Much better move. Right, white invades, black hanes, and then peeps. So this is not good. What black should do. So this is very similar. If, let's say this stone wasn't here, right? And white's attacking. If white's attacking these, the proper sequence is to hane and then attach. And I'll explain why. My next lecture video is going to be on these kicking, where the opponent kicks and you stand up. Kicking variations. So I will explain in more detail why this is better than the peep. But in this case, white is the one invading black, so black has the numbers advantage. So I don't know why black is so keen on just trying to get out as fast as possible. I think so black should descend. So what is the point of the descending? One, if white answers, there's a cleaner connection here, right? Or even doing this bump. I think, yeah, this bump's much better. So there's a connection here with this stone and this stone. Plus, as opposed to haneing and let's say connecting, which looks very similar, if we change the order of moves, black wouldn't crawl now, black would jump. So by haneing first, black has actually limited the amount of like aji, or how much he can actually reduce white by haneing, because after white blocks, you can see white has perfect shape, so black cannot come anymore, even if black connects. Also, this move also prevents a white connection, because if white tries to protect, black can hane, and when white cuts, can extend up. And you can see, if white goes this way, black can then go here, and because of this stone, white cannot cut black off. But if white goes here, black can then Atari and then go this way. And this would be a running fight. If black doesn't have that stone, whatever, when white tries to connect, you can see when black tries the same thing, when white comes up, you can see because black doesn't have the stone here, white can just kill these stones. So black would have to do this way, but this is what white wants. So this would be a disaster for black. So I think black had the right idea, but black should just descend. So always look for this descent when your opponent jumps in like this. Because when black peeped, I just said, that's a good enough profit in the corner, and then I just jumped. So black did capture these stones for now. There's still a ton of aji, but the gain in the corner is way too good for white. So now black attaches, which I think is a good move. This move, however, not so much, because the point of this attachment is that when you extend, you are now saying, okay, white, if you come this way, I can take the corner. But if you come down, then I can extend up. But by double haneing, you actually have limited the aji you have, because now you cannot double hane in the corner. Right now, when white comes up, when you try to hane here, white can just cut. So this double hane was trying to do way too much. Plus, it forces white towards these black stones, which are weak. But by going here, like white can do this, but it puts less pressure on these two stones. But by going here, you can see black is forcing white towards these stones, which are weak. And then black does this peep, which I have told my students this before. This peep is... they don't teach you this in textbooks, I can tell you that much. This is not a good move. It's a very poor move. And the reason why it's a poor move is because there's a better move of this peep. So they both do the same thing, right? They're both threatening to cut here if white ignores. Here's the difference. If white just protects, how many liberties does the stone have? It has all of its liberties, so it's very strong. When you peep here and white connects, you can see this stone only has 3 liberties, so it's actually weaker. Plus the second benefit of this, so if white just connects, black is super strong, right? Like, look at this result for black. These white stones are now just floating, and now this move, which was a questionable move earlier, is now actually being effective. But let's say white protects this way, then black can then extend up and get a second forcing move. Or white can go this way, and again black can get another forcing move. Whereas, let's say black goes here, and then it tries to extend down. Well, black doesn't have a connection like on this side, so white doesn't need to do this. But if black goes here and white goes here, you can see black has forced white to play this move on the second line. So this is the peep. This is not. So if you're watching this, please, please, please stop playing this move. Please. I have seen it too many times in your games for me to have to keep reiterating that this is the proper way to peep on this, on like the second line. Like this comes up a lot. It comes up in like the attach and extend joseki. It comes up with the new double approach joseki. So it's a very common move now. And then black just extends back. Again, not expending. I don't know why he doesn't want to connect here. It's a huge move, right? But by going here, white just says, "Okay, I'll just cut and take the stone." Again, even though black is quote unquote reducing white's top side, the gain that white gets in the corner, white's happy. So when you're reducing, you have to make sure you're reducing for a purpose. In this case, though, white's corner is super thick. Black has this string of stones that aren't doing much. These stones are still under attack. So, again, this is a ripple effect. Even though black got into white's territory, it was at a cost. So you have to make sure that cost is good for you. You have to have a net gain, I guess. So then black comes out this way. White peeps, and black jumps, and then I play this attachment once just to see how he answers. Just to see how he answers. Because later he might not answer the same way. So he just extends up, and then I come down. And then he plays this move, which I don't know why he doesn't want to even Hane and then connect. Because now white's shape can be black can take away, or white doesn't have two eyes. Yeah, white doesn't have two eyes, so black should be pretty nice for black. Like if, say, white ignores and black plays here, I'm pretty sure white is dead as is, or it's pretty close to dead. Like if white goes here, black can play this move, and you can see by playing here, black can take out white's second eye here. If white takes, though, white doesn't have enough space to make two eyes. So I don't know why black doesn't Hane, it just descends. Yeah, I don't know. Attach. This is one. So I know black's going to answer this, especially if he's trying to kill me or attack me. But I don't want to put it on the board because later, if black gets another move, black gets a Satori, which makes my corner smaller. So I know that move is on the board. So without playing it, I'm going to assume that exchange is on the board until I have to play it. And it seems like my opponent was doing the same thing. And that's what you have to do. So you want to conserve Aji for as long as possible. Hane, double Hane. Cannot cut here, because even though black can take here, white can then push through. Which would be a pretty large gain, for sure. So black just extends, white extends, keeps extending, connects, and then plays here. It's gotta be here, right? Like this is like a tiger's mouth, so I don't know why black chose this. Well, I can see because of the bamboo shape, so I can understand that, but this is probably a little bit better because it puts more pressure on these two stones. Extend, extend, and then white plays here, which is a pretty annoying move for black, which is again why this result, while it looked decent for black, there's so much aji. So much aji. So black just crawls. White will then, of course, get this Hane. And even though black can probably capture these two stones or these two stones, something of white's is going to live, which would be catastrophic for black. I don't even know what black does. It's very hard to say what black does here. If you cut, white will then probably go here and then extend up. Yeah, and you can, yeah. So that's not an option for black. So black maybe goes here, but then white just blocks, and then if black turns, white can then play here, which is threatening this cut, and then white's out. Black takes second line territory. Yeah, there's just nothing looks great, does it? Maybe white forces black like this, and then like this, and still white comes out easily. So yeah, and it's hard to say because like black would like to ignore this move, but even in and of itself it's a big reduction for white, plus white still has this attachment too. So at this point the game is slipping out of black's hands because black has to see how much black can get in this area, but it's hard to seal all of it in. So in the game, black stood up, so then white could turn. If black connects, then white could connect. And this is probably an all-in situation for black, because black now needs to try to kill white from the inside, but black himself, these stones don't have eyes, these stones don't have eyes, and technically if white gets this move sometime, these stones don't have eyes. So this would be pretty risky for black, and I'm not sure the outcome would be what black would want. So yeah, it'd be pretty tricky. Yeah. Even if white just goes there now. Yeah. So black just descends again, and white cuts. So black just gives up the two stones. But you can see now these stones are in danger. So black pushes, forces white to take points on the bottom, but these stones are still heavy. Black jumps. This move is probably, the value of this move is probably not that big, but it's definitely necessary because black needs to do something about these stones, especially since black added this move, right? Like black could have sacrificed these, but black did not. Black added a stone, which means now he's invested in these stones. So I think black could consider actually doing this, but I still think black's this corner, if white gets this whole corner too, plus this corner and this right side, it's going to be hard to compete with that. But this, I think this is definitely a better idea, because you know black gave up these two stones, so the value of these stones have gone way down. Because the value of this move is not that big. White extends, black plays this large knights, or this horse face, which I think this is a very good move actually. But again, black could have attacked these stones, right? Black could have attacked these stones earlier. Black could have gotten a better attack on this by Haneing here. But now that this group is pretty solid and this group is completely solid, black splitting. So this is a little too late for black. Because white just extends, black falls back, then white attaches. Black extends, which I was like, oh, that's not a good move. Because, yeah, it's not a good move. But then when my student played this, I was like, oh wow, I did not see this. magic on the first line, right? And I'm usually good at saying magic on the first line, but not in this case. So the point of this is it's threatening to connect here, right? So white protects here, black can then capture here and capture these 4 stones. Or if white goes here, black can actually now cut. And because of this stone, white cannot Atari down and capture, right? So magic on the first line. Always look at the first line. There's always, because of liberty issues and all that, first line has a lot of interesting little things about it. So in the game, I played here, and then he cut here. I think I should save these stones though. It must be bigger, right? I think this has to be bigger. It's hard to say. Black cut, then I attach here, and black does something very not good. And you can see where this exchange earlier is now really helping white do stuff here. Is black wedges, and then Atari's here, and then white goes here, and then black connects. So usually you don't want to give your opponent a ponuki, right? So this is very vulgar, and my student likes that word a lot. We joke about it a lot, but this is very vulgar. Like, why doesn't black just protect? You know, save the stone. Sure, maybe white protects here, but white has this cut here, and black can still reduce. Right? White, the amount of points black gained from doing this is maybe, let's see, maybe right here. This is all black gained. How much did white gain? All of this is now, right? If white gets a move here, look at white's influence, right? And all this is now solid. So I don't know why he doesn't. If you're going to wedging and then giving up the stone you wedged with is a very, again, they don't show you that in the books, and I see a lot of cues doing it. Yeah, I don't know why it's like a Teisuji they think it is, but it's not. Black should just Hane here. And then even if black just connects, maybe white goes there, but then black can do, it's still all connected. White's still not, white's still not connected, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But there's still even like an Atari here, so white needs to, if white goes there, then black can go here, and you can see white's shape is not as good as it was in the game. Even this move might be bigger now. You know, white protects and black can even go even further. So very bad, very bad. Don't give up this stone. It's very important to keep that stone. Then I jump out here. Again, I know black, since black has invested these stones, I can attack these, plus it's reducing black's area. So black plays here, then I play there. Yeah, look at black's great shape here. So now I realized black's only chance of winning is if he can kill this somehow. So now I'm like, okay, I'll protect this group. He plays there, but I can just continue to scoop out points. Black plays a shape point again. Very good shape point recognition, but again, a little too late. Peep, come down, extend, and now black tries to invade. So again, black could have invaded way earlier, right? Before this move here, but then white went here. And then if, like, I think the next move, black came up and then let white protect. And then even further in the game, black wedged in here, gave white this Ponuki to take this corner. And now, after black has solidified white to the fullest, black tries to invade. Now I get that he's behind and he needs to do something, but you had your chances, black. You could have done it earlier. So why wait till it's impossible to do it? So black tries to live here, but to no avail. Push through, extend up. We can see that when white hanes here, black doesn't have enough space to make two eyes. And because, again, black gave white a Ponuki here, even though black cut here, white has way too much liberties, way too much eye shape. So, then black went here, but then he resigned. So yeah, again, what I think the moral of the story is, or the lesson of this game is, don't miss your opportunities. Black had a lot of opportunities in this game, right? Like, right now black can jump in here and attack, but he played the checking extension first, which is fine. But the point of this is to not only protect the corner, but to get an attack on your opponent's group as sort of like backdoor connection if you need it. White attaches, black does this, and then goes here, which let white protect, right? So black missed another opportunity by playing this move. And this move, right? Black didn't need to answer this, but he does. And then plays this move. So white fixes, and then black plays up, forcing white to fix. Even though there was still a clamp here black could play. We go further in the game. And now black has an attack on this group. But instead of haneing, which has to be like the first instinct, I don't know why this wasn't his first instinct. Or maybe it was and he just didn't want to do it, I don't know. He just comes down. And then you can see later he plays this move, which would be a nice looking move, but because he played so soft up here, this group's pretty already well alive. So yeah, definitely missed opportunities for black. And then he does this, which is a big frowny face. Don't do this. If you're going to hane, just hane. Or if you're going to wedge, just answer the wedge. But instead, black completely solidifies white's area, and then once white got completely solid, then black tried to live. So definitely things were done out of order for black. So yeah, when you have an opportunity to fight or to attack, take the opportunity to. Of course, sometimes there's times you don't want to, but in this game, clearly there was nothing bad that was going to happen to black if black did the attack on either the right side or the top. Yeah, and you can see black's one move here he played, look, it's all just dame now. And you can see this move black played, it's worth 0 points. So clearly making this exchange and this exchange for this move and this move was not good. But yeah, I think that's it for this game. If you have any questions about the game, please let me know. If you're interested in being my student, because I am taking students at the moment, you can email me at ohiogoschool@gmail.com. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.